Committee on the Capital Improvement Budget and Program. Before we get started with the presentation, I'd like to acknowledge the committee members present with us this evening. When you hear your name, please say aye. Rob Schweitzer. Bob. Paul Hartman.
Aye.
Eric Johnson. Gennaro. Henry Caligari.
Aye.
Nancy Clifford.
Aye.
Kathy Wolfson.
Aye.
Wayne McGinnis.
Aye.
Mark Heckman.
Aye.
Steve Heinel. Howard Furlow.
Aye.
And Warren.
Aye, and just as a heads up, your volume's kind of low. It's hard to hear you.
All right, I will try. It keeps on in and out. I'm not sure what the problem is here.
Hey, Scott, this is Bob Schweitzer. I was muted, I think, when you called me. I'm here.
Great, thank you. We are meeting in a work session to hear from Ms. DeAndrea Walker, Acting Director of the Baltimore County Department of Public Works. After the presentation, members of the committee will have the opportunity to ask questions of the presenter. I will note that there are members of the community in attendance of tonight's meeting. This meeting has not been designed to accept comments from citizens. The planning board held a citizen input meeting on October 15th of last year, which was the opportunity for the board to hear from citizens on their issues concerning the capital improvement budget. I would now like to turn this over to Ms. Walker to begin her presentation.
Good evening, Mr. Chair and board members. We appreciate the opportunity. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear
all
you.
hear me? Okay, perfect. Good evening, Mr. Chair and members of the board. We appreciate the opportunity to come to you today to share our projected capital needs for our upcoming budget. Today, I have with me our bureau chiefs as well, so that they can also be available to answer any questions that you all may have at the end of this presentation. And because this isn't done by one person at all, I wanted to take the opportunity to introduce them as well. We have Greg Karski, who's in charge of our Bureau of Transportation, Mike Beechler, who's in charge of our Bureau of Solid Waste, Ted DeBoda, who's in charge of our Bureau of Utilities, Jeff Pelosi, who's in charge of our Bureau of Engineering and Construction, and Anthony Russell, who is in charge of our Bureau of Highways. As you all know, Public Works is one of the largest departments with just under about 1,000 employees. Our functions include, but are not limited to, water, sewers, roads, snow removal, bridges, revenue collection, traffic signal signs, garbage and trash collection, as well as recycling. In the next 2 years, we would be requesting $487 million in capital funds to accomplish our mission, to maintain and repair the system and to modernize and expand where needed. We can go to the next slide. The first section we'll talk about would be sewers. The largest capital requirement is the sewer system. Along with water, the sewer system represents the lion's share, almost 90% of the total capital budget for Public Works. Exactly 429 million of the 487 million that we will be spending over the next 2 years. There are 3,178 miles of sewer line buried under our streets and along our waterways, and 120 pumping stations that feed those. Carrying everything to 2 treatment plants run by the city, though located in the county, the Back River plant and the Patapsco treatment plant. Sewers, as you know, are expensive, and maintaining old sewers like ours tend to be very expensive. Many of our sewers are approximately 50 and 60 plus years old. Since 2005, under federal consent decree, Baltimore County has invested more than $1.5 billion to ensure that we improve the system and eliminate sewer overflows by doing things such as building new lines, renovating pumping stations, relining miles of pipe, eliminated relief points, and installing systems to respond immediately to failures. We are seeking $218 million for the next 2 years for projects like the Patapsco. You can go to the next slide. Patapsco Force Main replacement job. Next slide, please. This is the Patapsco Force Main, which will be almost 2 miles of 60-inch diameter pipe. It will cost $26 million, which is currently under construction, and it will carry 80 million gallons of sewage each day. Next slide, please. Now we'll move on to talk about water. Our capital program for water is $211 million, only slightly smaller than the sewer capital program of the $218 million. That covers many projects, including the reservoir improvements like Fullerton's 3 reservoirs, which were finished in December and cost $81 million. You can go to the next slide. They took more than 3 years to build. Now online, the Fullerton reservoirs will provide water storage for the county's east side and improve fire protection. You can go to the next slide. For the immediate future, we are working with Baltimore City at the Ashburn Water Treatment Plant, where we're building 2 20 million gallon underground reservoirs. This is the Ashburn plant reservoirs under construction, which will cost $24 million. You can go to the next slide and it'll show you the Ashburn plant. That's our Ashburn plant that's under construction now. Okay. These new reservoirs will replace 2 aged oil reservoirs and will comply with the EPA requirements, which mandate that drinking will be stored undercover and not open to the air, as was in past practice. In addition, we have a very broad project. We can go to the next slide. This is a picture of a recent construction from engineering. Here we wanted to show you where we're investing $30 million in water main replacement and rehabilitation, which will renew and improve a number of community networks in Fullerton, Hillendale Park, Turkey Point, and Timonium. In these areas, we need to replace deteriorated cast iron water mains that are prone to breaking. Many of the water lines, as you heard earlier, are over 50 years old, and many have gotten sediments and deposits that have accumulated over the years and have drastically reduced the pipe's flow or capacity. Many of these old pipes are prone to breaking, especially in the cold weather. Many of you have seen our water main breaks, and when that happens, they tend to destroy our roads. You can go to the next slide. The next slide is an archive photo from our Dundalk water break, which was in 2013. Our roads, as you know, are a constant concern. Baltimore County today has almost 3,000 miles of roads. Conditions tend to vary from excellent to marginal, and we have a picture of the next picture is a picture of one of our marginal roads. You can go to the next one. One more. That's our picture of a marginal road that we have there. You can go to the next slide. This is our Dundalk Avenue. This is at Dundalk Avenue where we did some recent upgrades. Here, we're not building many roads today because the connectivity is good, but it's important to know that we are repairing and resurfacing. Paving tends to last between 15 and 25 years, depending on a variety of conditions. Conditions being the traffic volume and the weather. It's important to note that over the next 2 years, we hope to invest $22 million in resurfacing just to keep the pace. You can go to the next slide. On our next slide, we have a video that we would like to show you of one of our more recent projects on Campbell Boulevard. Are you able to click it, Chris?
One second. Let me share.
We're excited about this, so we thought we'd show it to you. All right. So this is Campbell Boulevard. It's a road, a new road, newly resurfaced and open to the public last July. Campbell Boulevard is essential for the East Side development and growth. Campbell links to Route 43 with Pulaski Highway and eventually to Philadelphia Road and to new commercial centers. We did a flyover here to demonstrate because this was a major project that took a couple of years to do. In addition to resurfacing and building roads, there is a need to widen roads for increased traffic, and you'll see we did a little bit of that here. Thank you, Chris. Some of the roads that we plan on widening in the future would be Roland Road, Ingleside Avenue, Kenilworth Avenue, are just some of the few. Those projects, however, when we widen them, require curb, gutter, and sidewalk improvements that can tend to be expensive. We are putting those on our list of to-dos over the next 2 to 3 years. The need for curbs and gutters brings up our storm drain program, the growing need to channel stormwater in order to protect land and homes from flooding. This is a growing problem in older communities built before an awareness of water runoff issues and regulations. Controlling rainwater is vital, though it usually doesn't merit much attention until someone's backyard is flooded. Stoneleigh and Towson is a case in point. The neighborhood north of Register Avenue and east of York Road faces serious flooding for years. With increased rain in the past decade, the problem became severe. Public Works is addressing that problem, and a new storm drain system is under construction and will be finished this summer. You can go to the next picture. Bridges are also critical to the transportation network. Public Works, most people don't know, is responsible for 685 bridges, including Moore's Lane Bridge, which was part of the Campbell Boulevard project that you saw earlier, which is in design and scheduled for construction in 2023. This is the Old Court Bridge. And then the next picture, we have a picture of the historic Jericho Road covered bridge. And then the next picture, the River Road Bridge, destroyed in the 2018 flood, was rebuilt and completed last June. Our bridges are inspected every 2 years under state supervision, and the budget is designed to cover repairs, small and large, and also new construction. Now we'll move on to transportation. Maryland is the second in the nation in terms of commuters who travel over 60 minutes one way to reach their jobs. Traffic infrastructure and traffic control are critical. This is the new traffic signal installed last fall at the intersection of Washington Avenue and Towson Town Boulevard. It's one of our 400 signals constructed and maintained by Public Works. And we also light streets and do sidewalks as well. You can go to the next picture. Now with the improved design and high efficient LED fixtures like this one that we installed in Pikesville. Next, we'll go to solid waste. The solid waste end-to-end study, as most of you probably have heard, is currently underway. We started that end-to-end study a few months ago, chaired by the CAO. And we also are doing a sub-haulers work group as a part of that study as well. We're examining every facet of solid waste to make needed improvements. Among many of the topics we are examining, the private hauler system, the future of recycling, and of course, the landfill life. Here is a picture of our Eastern Sanitary Landfill. You can go to the next one. Landfill cell 14 is being designed. It will cost about $8 million. The capital for solid waste also includes funding for the Hernwood landfill water treatment system. Toxic landfill leach is treated before it is reintroduced into nature. We clean the leach and so that it meets the state standards and can be reintroduced into the Patapsco watershed as clean, though it is not considered potable water. That is a brief overview of our bureaus. As you can see, it's a large area to cover for Baltimore County. The work that the employees do in Baltimore County is vitally important, and none of it can be done without the dedication of the workers that we have every day. We thank you all for listening to our presentation today and inviting us to present to you. With that, we'll take any questions that you may have.
Thank you. For Ms. Walker. Not hearing any. I'm going to.
Oh, just a minute. I'm sorry. Ms. Walker, you mentioned Rolling Road, improvements to Rolling Road. Could you describe where they would occur and if they will have center turn lanes?
I sure can. Actually, Greg, can you answer the improvements on Rolling Road, the widening of Rolling Road? Would that be you?
Hello, this is Greg Carsey. How's everyone?
Good.
Good. The Rolling Road improvements are pending. I'm not sure what stage they are in. I know we did the one project by Windsor Mill there, and I'm unsure exactly where stage the other one is in at the moment. I know we ran into a few issues there, but I still think it is coming at some point.
Okay, because the area between Security Boulevard and Dogwood Road is a nightmare with no turn lanes. You have 2 lanes going in each direction with no turn lanes, and it's hopefully that'll be incorporated into the new plan. Thank you, Greg.
No problem at all.
Howard Curlow, I have a question. Ms. Walker, we've read about it in the Sun papers a lot. I'm a county resident, of course, and I get Baltimore City Water. The Baltimore City Water Department, for lack of a better word, it might be the worst, most horrible organization to deal with anywhere in the country. I don't know whether there's plans. You just told us that you spent, I don't know, $30–40 million at Ashburton, which is located in the city, from what I know, down off of Liberty Heights Avenue. So we're contributing to their infrastructure. But when you need to speak to anybody, not just over the last year of COVID, but any time to resolve a bill, it's impossible. I personally am aware, because I own a title company, that Baltimore County water meters were not read for the last 10 to 12 months. And we just all started to get bills again in the last month from last year, and huge bills, and again, nothing that you can do. I'm presuming that still comes under the Department of Public Works, at least for Baltimore County. Is there any plans to separate us from Baltimore City's water? Is there some talk of doing like the Prince George's Montgomery County area have, a WSSC, somebody that can run it, that at least when somebody that lives in the county or the city reaches out to the city water department to get an answer, that they can get it without feeling very frustrated, as many of us have? Any comments you might have?
Sure. I appreciate your question there. It's interesting that's the question. You have the call that I had an hour and a half call right before this call was to talk about Metro and the relationship with Baltimore City. Part of what you probably saw on the news most recently was the report from the Solicitor General in regards to a report that they did about the functioning of Baltimore City and Baltimore County as it relates to the bills and the meters and the whole nine. Before that report actually came out, the county executive had hired a consultant to do an end-to-end study, along with, it was a collaboration along with Baltimore City, to do an end-to-end study on Metro and our relationship with this agreement that goes back 60 years that we have in place. That study has been delivered to us. That hour and a half that I had on the meeting right before this was a meeting with the CA reviewing particular chapters of that draft study. The goal is to have a meeting with the county exec and then have continuous meetings with the city in terms of ideas that came from that study, that end-to-end study, and recommendations that came, and how we move forward in terms of improvements, because what we've had in place for the last 60 years is broken. So it is well known. We are looking at it. We are in the very early stages of it, have completed the study, and there should be something coming out within the next quarter.
Okay, Ms. Walker, I'm going to give you a case study, if I might, because it's personal. I live on Old Court Road in Pikesville, and I live on an acre of land. And I've lived here about 12 years. And my quarterly water bills from Baltimore City used to run anywhere from $300 to $600 or $700. And you might say that's high, but I do have a sprinkling system on my lawn that was here before I was. So I accepted that as a number. My neighbor, again, the same size lot, about the same. So when I just got my current water bill about 3 weeks ago from the city, that bill for a house that has 3.5 bathrooms and a kitchen, that bill was $11,780. Now, either they haven't read our meters properly in the last 12 years. My neighbor's bill was just over $10,000. Now, I've sent it to somebody that I know in the city water department to try to investigate it. We've had no leaks that I'm aware of. But there's a case study of somebody here in the county that isn't a bill that I'm going to have a struggle. I promise you to pay it if it is correct. I can't believe it is. But I hear this constantly, and I don't know how any of us are going to correct it, subject to your report that you all hopefully will make public to all of us. But it is extremely ridiculous, I guess, that anybody with a house the size of mine with the bathrooms would receive an $11,000 bill. And I'll be happy to send you those bills from me and my neighbor. And I'll send you the last bill that I had from over a year ago that was a summer bill that was about $800. And I was fine with that because of the sprinkling system. But, you know, to receive a bill like that is just unconscionable. And there's no one, of course, to talk to, either in Baltimore County Public Works or in the Baltimore City Water Department. So how do the rest of the constituents who don't have any way of reaching out deal with that when the time comes? They'll turn off my water, seems sort of hard to believe that that would be the situation. So I'm sorry that you're our first speaker on infrastructure and the capital improvements, but I'm pretty frustrated right now, I got to tell you.
Well, I'm not sorry I'm the first speaker. It goes with the job. I truly understand. You can send it to me. I will have the staff review it. I will have the staff reach out to Baltimore City and do an analysis of your bill. And if we need to send some of our staff out to look at the meter with the city, we will work diligently to do that.
I appreciate that because maybe I've got a little bit of pull with you being on the planning board, but
Yeah.
the problem is that there's an awful lot of people in our county that don't have that ability to do it. And it really has never been fixed. And I'm concerned that it ever will be fixed. That's the concern.
Well, the most I can tell you at this point is that we've started the process to look at fixing a 60-year-old problem. We've started it, we're doing the review, and the county executive has committed to coming back and sharing the report and sharing what our recommendations are going to be in terms of moving forward so that our residents don't suffer.
Thank you for that.
Mhm.
Are there any other comments, questions, concerns, multi-thousand-dollar bills to discuss? Hearing nothing more, Ms. Walker, I want to thank you for coming tonight. I'm assuming if we have any additional questions, people can contact you.
Please do. Yeah.
As we move forward.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Chris, I believe that is the only presentation for this evening.
Yes, Mr. Holubka, that is the only presentation that we have scheduled for tonight. I would remind the board members that we do have additional presentations scheduled for next week. Next Tuesday, we have the Office of Information Technology, the Department of Planning, and one additional agency. But we'll send you the details for that so that you have them.
Do I have a motion to end this meeting?
Motion.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Look forward to seeing everyone next Tuesday, and I'll work on my speaker between now and then.
Good night, everybody.
Right.